and it can actually say, do you want to turn your node into a corner, like a sharp corner, or do you want to have it like smooth? So you can press smooth and see how that just changed that point from being quite sharp to being quite smooth now. So we're creating a little floaty dress. Now what I will also do is now draw in go to the pen tool. So the pencil tool, I'm going to draw in just to show to the manufacturer it has some, I guess, flounce to it or fullness to the skirt. Now we're going to delete these buttons and we'll draw in a little bit more gathers around the bust. And what else will we do? Maybe you want to create, I'm just making this as we go along here. Another seam. Now you could have this in a contrast fabric if you wanted to. You could do more beading if you wanted to. So for example, so this tool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh one down, see this little pointer tool here? You can actually choose what kind of shape if you hold it down, rectangle, rounded, rectangle, ellipse, polygon, star. So if I wanted to, I've gone round. I could create, for example, some beading. Quite random, so you can zoom in. Now the thing to remember when you're manufacturing something like beading, that needs to be done by hand. So what I'm doing right now is creating a whole lot of things that need to be hand sewn. So this is always good. You can design something from concept, and at the time, you know, I'm thinking, oh yeah, this whole panel would look great beaded the whole way through. But when it goes to manufacture, you might like to simplify it a little bit. So do a little bit less beading, but still get the same overall effect. So sometimes your designs, like quite often my designs can go through 6 different refining before they're kind of done. So I'll start with the concept and go, yeah, I really love that. And then, you know, it gets fine-tuned from there. Okay, that's enough to give you an idea. So this panel here, we can do some top stitching. So we can get the pen tool and we'll start here. You could even make this piping, maybe put it in some lurex. Now remember from the last lesson, what we're going to do is go over to the stroke. We want a dashed line. We'll probably do a 3 point, so change that to 3, maybe even less, 1. That's better. And the weight of the stroke, so we want to make that a little bit finer because it's a little bit thick at the moment. So we've just gone 1/4 of a point, and you can see how it's like got this white bit here. See how you could it's trying to fill the object, and if you go to this bottom of the toolbar, you can see it's selecting white for the fill. We want no fill, so we click no fill here, and now that's a lot nicer. So we'll just draw the top stitching. And there we go, we've got a bit more of a flounce. So I could probably improve this hemline a little bit more. See, once I actually drew in the flounces, I'm designing like a little cocktail dress or bridesmaid dress, I guess, formal dress. Actually up here needs to be improved. So if we go to the white pointer tool just to select the node, just make this a little bit more even. Sometimes the manufacturers, if they're not English speaking, they take all of this for granted. So if your line is uneven, they actually think that you mean a wonky top stitch that's not even. So that's why your drawings are so important, that you get it as accurate to real life as possible. Okay. So let's go to might add a few more nodes in here. So what I'm doing is just adding a few extra points, and then we go to the white pointer tool, select this, and we'll just put a few more points in here. And see how you can go to the top anchor point and make this smooth. So I've just created that to be smooth. Same up here again. Okay, now that kind of looks a little bit more like it's floatier and can swirl around, and it'll actually float out a little bit more. Now I actually really love this beading design, so I want to put it on the bust again. So we're just going to draw. So as you sort of go along, sometimes I just draw in Illustrator and just let things flow to me, the ideas. Sometimes you look at it and go, oh, I just need something more.